The car next to me was the guy was driving Uber because I know the sound when you get a new ride is like doo doo doo, like it's like a sound like. And I used to, before the UFC, actually this would be before the UFC, I was fighting Bellator, and that day I was doing Uber to make money. You know what I mean? Yeah, and I had passengers in the back, and I'm like they're like, oh, what do you do? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, I'm an MMA fighter. I have a fight tonight in Madison Square Garden, da, da, da. And the people, the look they gave me, the vibe was like, oh, okay, good luck, bro.
Right.
And I'm like, and it hurt because I'm like, dude, I'm like fighting in Madison Square Garden.
These motherfuckers think you're a manager of Starbucks and shit. What the fuck,
right?
bro?
But just like hearing that, I'm like, damn, I remember when I used to drive Uber, you know, for money and like, you know, but now I'm like chilling and like.
Bro, you were driving Uber the same day you were fighting in Madison Square Garden. That's fucking insane, yo.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Damn, yo. Wow. That's how they do in the UFC behind This is, I'm pretty sure Anderson Silva did this.
I believe it. I can see it.
Ladies and gentlemen, how are you doing? It's your motherfucking boy, Gamero, the Pharaoh, the poor man's Robert De Niro. You know what I'm talking about? Bald version, but still beautiful. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm so very ecstatic to bring you another story of triumph, perseverance in this here Midnight in Miami studios. But before I get to introducing the illustrious, fashionable guest that we have today, ladies and gentlemen, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? Hit that subscribe button. I know you on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button. If you're on Spotify, follow us. Go on Instagram, Apple Podcasts, Deezer, all that good stuff. Follow us, support us, and man, you'll get a notification every single time that we have a brand new warrior in our hollowed halls, if you will. And with that introduction, ladies and gentlemen, how do I put into words the excitement that I have bowling from my insides? You know what I'm saying? Ladies and gentlemen, the man before me is a practitioner of the professional mixed martial arts. Ladies and gentlemen, the man before me is a UFC fighter. Arguably the world's largest stage when it comes to MMA. Ladies and gentlemen, for the first time in the Midnight in Miami studios, we have UFC fighter Phil Hawes! My brother, how you doing?
Hey, brother, always good. How you feeling?
Oh man, first of all, thank you so much for dropping on by today. The man came correct. The man's got a floral pattern. You know what I'm saying? And that's amazing. Phil, aka Phillip, how's everything going, man? How's your Sunday?
Life is good. I'm here chilling in Miami with my boy. You know,
I appreciate you.
I'm glad to be here.
Oh man, thank you. Thank you so much for dropping on by. And how do you begin such an illustrious episode with such a legendary guest? And I guess let's begin it all with the roots. My brother, if I'm not mistaken, you are from New Jersey. You know what I'm saying? Talk to us a little bit about that.
Yeah, New Jersey. I'm from New Jersey. Born and raised till I was 18. Then I moved away for college. I went to college at Iowa State. And that's where I kind of grew up and became a man. After that, boom, started fighting, started training, moved to New Mexico. So I've been around a lot. All right. But Miami is my spot. I like this place.
Damn, man. And the fashion represents it too, bro. Damn, man. But what if you show up in Jersey wearing that, man? What are they going to say?
I'm from Miami. I'm telling hey, this is the vibe of Miami.
Oh, man, I love it.
They get it.
Bro, they're going to understand it, bro. Yeah. What led you down the path of fighting? If I'm not mistaken, you started with wrestling, correct?
Yeah.
What led you to wrestling in the first place?
Wrestling. I got into wrestling because, of course, my football coach tricked me. He was like, hey, you want to become a better football player? Get into wrestling. I'm like, all right, whatever. You know? So I got into that, and it's an individual sport, and I kind of lean towards that because it's like, it really showed me what you put in is what you get out, you know?
Right.
Some team sports, you don't get that necessarily. You got to depend on other people, and, you know. So I started wrestling, and I started doing really well. I ended up being better at wrestling than I was at football, you know?
Oh, shit.
So then boom, but there's no really professional for wrestling, you know what I mean?
Right.
So, and I, you know, I didn't want to work a real job after college. So I was like, all right, let me punch some people in the face.
Hell yeah, damn.
Life is good right now. So.
Was it hard for you to accept that you had become a better wrestler than a football player? Did you have your mindset on pursuing football?
Yeah. It was tough. Actually, my first year in college, I stopped wrestling and tried to do football again because everybody wants to be that Division I football player, NFL, you know? So I'm like, let me give it one more shot. You know, it didn't work out, but look where we're at right now. So it worked out just as planned. So.
100%. Similar story to my man, Anthony Wint. You know what I'm saying? Big shout out, Anthony Wint. Yeah. So from wrestling to MMA, how'd that come about?
Wrestling MMA, man, it's a pretty simple story. My buddy Carrington Banks, he was like, "Hey, I'm checking out."
Big shout out.
A little shout out. He's all right. What's Carrington was like, "Hey, I'm checking out this MMA gym. Come with, you know." And me, I never been in a street fight, never been in any type of combatives ever. You know what I mean?
Damn.
So it was night and day from me as a person, but I liked it, you know, because it was so different from who I am. As you know, I never been in a street fight, so it's like. Now I'm fighting, you know, on the daily. You know? It kind of awakens something in you. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
It's so different from who you are.
God, did you have to get used to, you know, bringing out that beast, kind of, you know, bringing out that mean, you know what I'm saying, mean mug? Did you get used to it pretty quick, or like, were you holding back at first when you were sparring? You didn't want to go, you know what I'm saying, 100%, even though, you know, most of the time when you're sparring, you don't go 100%, obviously, but were you holding back on your punches? Talk to me about that.
Yeah. Like I said, well, it's kind of weird because like, you don't know who you are until you find out who you are. To me, that's what it felt like. I didn't know I liked this combative side of me. But then once I got in it and I started piecing people up and people telling me how good I was, it was like, it's easy to fall in love with it. You know what I mean? Like you just got that machismo, that, you know, that warrior spirit in you. So it's easy to align myself with fighting.
Hell yeah. Did you feel like you had like an upper hand with your wrestling background coming into it? You know, you listen to DC all the time talking about how wrestling is the fundamentals and how wrestling is such an instrumental part of the tool set that a MMA fighter has. Talk to us about your background in wrestling and how it kind of gave you a competitive edge.
Yeah, 100%. Not even necessarily on like the technique part. Like, sure, I could take a dude down if he's a good striker or a good boxer. I could take him down, boom, whatever. Right. But we're talking about things, the intangibles, like the things like the discipline it teaches. You know, like I've been cutting weight since I was like 13 years old. You know, a lot of people don't do that, you know what I mean? So I'm used to it. So weight cuts are normal to me. Just making the sacrifices, you know, like some nights I want to go out, you know, it's Miami, I want to, but you know, wrestling's taught me like, hey, we got to chill back this weekend, you know, things focus like that. So just the discipline wrestling teaches you is a lot different than other sports, you know, other disciplines. So I'm blessed to wrestle, like DC said, you know.
Damn, bro, you had a 6-pack at 13. I was eating Pop-Tarts, brother. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And shout out Pop-Tarts, bro. I'm trying to get a sponsorship.
Yeah, me too. We get that.
Hell yeah, bro. And then talk to us about, like, I guess what was you had such a strong foundation when it came to wrestling. What were some of the challenges that when you first walked into an MMA gym that you encountered?
Man. Okay, you're a wrestler, so you know about combatives one-on-one, so that's not out of the norm. But getting punched in the face, you know, and
that's brand new.
Yeah, that's brand new to me, you know.
Damn. Did you get emotional at first? Like,
dude, I still to this day, you know what I mean?
Bro.
To this day,
it's hard not to, bro.
Yeah. Someone's punch you in the face, it's like, all right, bet. What's No, it's so yeah, you get things like that. You got to get used to getting punched in the face and being okay with it. You know, that's one thing. And also not leaning on your wrestling so much. You want to become a better athlete. You want to become a complete mixed martial artist. You don't want to just go in there and just start wrestling dudes. Then you're boring. Nobody wants to watch you fight. You know?
Right.
So yeah, like I can lean on my wrestling easy, take everyone down, finish them. But like I want to be more exciting, you know what I mean?
Damn.
So that's one thing you got to do with the wrestling.
Damn. Talk to us about home life. Talk to us about, you know, were your parents supportive from day one when you went into wrestling, and how were they when you made the transition into MMA? Was there any sort of concern about your safety? Talk to us about that.
Yeah, of course. Mom's always, you know, always got my back, always super supportive, you know, no matter what I do, you know. I left college at 18, didn't come back for years, you know, and she was always right and always calling, always making sure I was okay. But there's also concerns, you know, like
of course,
the baby boy stepping in the cage, gonna fight some grown men, you know.
Shit,
you
God.
know. And at the time, not like it wasn't super new, but it was still. It's not what it is right now. You
Of
know
course.
what I mean? It's not on ESPN, blah,
right.
blah, blah.
Oh, no, bro. If you watch UFC when it was UFC 1, UFC 2, bro, you get scared. It's bare knuckle. It's a 500-pound dude against like a 150-pound dude. What's going on, bro?
100%. I remember when my brother brought the video game home one time, like this is way before I ever got in a fist fight or something,
right?
You know, and I was like, dude, these dudes are crazy. I would never do this, you know. And now look at me in the cage, like loving it. Can't wait to get back in there.
Damn.
So, life is crazy sometimes.
Damn, man. You mentioned you can't wait to get back in there. There's some people, I mean, off the top of my head that I can think about. Nick Diaz, and he'll talk about, I'm just doing this for the money. I don't want to go out there. And he'll be very open about it. The week of the fight, in his last fight with, oh my God, he had the second fight with Robbie Lawler. Robbie Lawler, which honestly, I mean, it was a very technical fight. I enjoyed that fight. But he was saying, I don't want to go out there. I'm doing this for the money. It sounds like it's the complete opposite. You can't wait to go out there. Does the money play a role? Do you not care? Is it merely the passion? Do you enjoy going out there? What drives you?
I mean, if I was Diaz and I was fighting Robbie, I wouldn't want to go out there either. You know what I mean? Like, Robbie's my teammate. He's a killer, you know, so I had to give him some props.
Big props.
Robbie's a killer. But I think we're in a different paths in our career right now. I think he's been there a while. You know, he's took the ups and the downs and all that stuff. So maybe his hunger is not as much as mine. You know what I mean? As when he was like the young Nate Diaz giving fingers and shit like that. So yeah. But me, I love fighting. You know, and of course the money's.
Oh man!
Come on, the money.
Little cherry on top.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
The money's nice. The money's real nice. You know?
Come on, man.
I'm living good right now, eating. So
100%.
So, but yeah, I love fighting. I love competing. You know, and I love the money. So I'm a prize fighter. So
hell yeah, man!
I'm not gonna lie. The
and you shouldn't. And you shouldn't. What would you say is the favorite part of the entire experience for you? Is it the week of media? Is it the weigh-ins and you finally get to see their face? Is it moments behind you're about to actually fight and you're hearing your name and you're next up? What's your favorite part about it all?
Man, I don't think you could have. I don't think you could put a nail on each because they all make the whole process, you know, go around, you know? Like the weight cut. Like I enjoy the weight cut because I know it's a process and I know I won't be able to do this forever. So like looking back, you know what I mean? It's good times. I'm cutting 20-something pounds a week. Bruh. You know, it ain't good times, but I mean like you gotta put it in memory bank like, hey, this is what we went through, you know what I mean? So I enjoy all of it, you know what I mean? Damn. But the most thing I enjoy the best is cashing the checks, you know? Like,
bro.
Come on, dog.
Hell yeah. When you go and it doesn't bounce?
Yeah, that's nice. There you go. Yeah,
that's the best part, bro.
Exactly, yeah.
Because anybody can write a check. I'll write a check for $1 million right now. You know what I'm saying? You know, I got a pen, but that's about it. You know what I'm saying? But damn. You are one of the very few people that have come on here and said that you enjoy the process of cutting weight.
Yeah, man, I love it all.
Talk to us about that.
I love it all. You know, I think it's what wrestling instilled in me. You know what I mean? Just like this is normal. This is part of it. And you see a lot of people miss weight.
Right.
And that to me that's a loss already. That's a little bit of loss. Like you didn't have the discipline to do what you need to do to prepare and be professional. You know what I mean? So
do you lose a little bit of respect for your opponent if they don't make weight?
I think you got to, you know what I mean? Like you did your part. Now you do your part. You signed a bout agreement saying, hey, we're going to make this weight at this day and this time, you know, like, you know what's up.
Yeah.
Like, you've been here before.
Do you think that maybe what they take away from not making weight, do you think that's enough? You know, you hear Adesanya talking about, he had a private conversation. Well, I mean, not really private. It was with Dana White in the octagon post-fight. And he's like, yo, these motherfuckers don't care about the 30%?
Yeah,
they don't care about the 30% purse. Hit them with an 80% fee. You know what I'm saying? What do you think about that? Do you think 30% is enough?
I mean, considering Adesanya's in my weight class, fuck Adesanya. But, I mean, I'm not here to change rules and do, you know what I mean? Like, I just stick to my thing. I don't miss weight, so I don't care what they take from them, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, if my opponent misses weight, whatever, I take 30%, don't matter. I'm still looking to smash you either way, on
Hell
weight,
yeah.
off weight.
Damn.
Yeah.
What are some of your favorite ways of actually cutting weight? You know, you got people that are actually running outside. Some people religiously stick to the sauna.
Yeah.
I know they provide a sauna at the hotel room, if I'm not mistaken. What's your preference?
Me, I'm a sauna guy. They say when you work out too much, you deplete your like glycogen levels, I believe. You know what I mean? You want to save those for the fight. So I like the sauna, I like the water load. You know, hit mitts a little bit, nothing too crazy, nothing. Try to save your legs for the fight, so you don't want to run too much.
And what's your diet kind of looking like the week of the fight? He goes, yeah.
like I said, like weight cut mentally is not as bad. So like my last fight, I came in like 25 pounds over. You know what I mean? Cutting out the week of, and it kind of went sour. It went south for me, you know. So I'm working with a nutritionist now, and we're trying to figure it out, trying to get to my my optimal weight cut, weight. So yeah, we're figuring it out.
What made you decide on middleweight? What did you try different weight classes? What kind of had your mindset on this weight class?
Just my stature, people around me. You know, John Jones told me a good thing because I was thinking about 170 when I first started.
Right.
And he was like, John was like to me, John Jones, of course, we trained together a long time in New Mexico. He was like, hey, dude, if you're going to be good, you're going to be good. You know what I mean? So whether it's 170, 205, 185, you know, if you're going to be good, you're going to be good. So I was like, all right, you know, I'm not going to kill myself trying to make it down to 170. Let's just say 85.
Hell yeah. What do you think of John Jones' new sights set on the new weight division?
Man, like a lot of people would give him like, oh, he hasn't been in the cage, blah blah blah, ring rust. But
that's John Jones.
Yeah,
bro.
right.
Like what are we talking about?
Not for him.
Like,
yeah.
Like,
he's a monster. He seems super dedicated to his craft, and I mean, the proof is in the pudding. He always comes out and performs. So I mean, you can't doubt him.
God.
Yeah.
You have had such a highlight reel of a career so far. Knockouts, submissions. Do you have a preference when it comes to how you win? You know what I'm saying? Like, dog, I mean, I'm sure there's nothing as crisp or as satisfying as landing a perfect hit and they go down. But at the same time, you know, when you lock that shit in, I'm sure that shit, what does it for you?
Man, of course, knockouts, finishes are always the best, you know, depending, it could be in the first or second round, you know. But right now, my career's been leaning on some decisions, and I've been liking that too, just showing I'm versatile, can go 15, 25 minutes. So, yeah, I just love it. I just love to win.
Damn.
How we get it.
The man says he loves to win, so man. At what point did you realize that this was it?
Yeah.
Was it during wrestling?
Yeah.
Was it the moment that you walked into the MMA gym? At what point did you realize, all right, I'm not gonna do a 9 to 5.
Yeah.
This is what's up.
Man, it was dude, I'm big into like manifesting and believing things, right? So I'm in my senior year in college, and one Spanish class away from graduating, right?
Habla español. It was good.
One Spanish class away.
There you go.
But then I was on YouTube, blah, 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 and I listened to this Eddie Murphy interview. He was talking about like, don't have a plan B because it gets in the way of plan A. So I'm like, if I finish this, I'm gonna have my plan B. So then I'm like, fuck it, I'm not gonna do it. Eventually, I went back. Of course, I had to finish the Spanish class. But it took a couple years later. I was like, all right, let me finish that Spanish class before these credits expire.
God.
But yeah, it was my senior year in college. Boom, had the Spanish class. I was like, nah, fuck, I'm not gonna finish that because this is gonna be my plan B.
Bro.
And I want fighting to work.
I would have given you the test answers and everything, bro. Shit, like,
yeah. I had to finish it. We finished the Spanish class, so we're good. But yeah, just like I just believe in myself. I believe in my work ethic. You know what I mean?
Damn.
And so I always knew fighting was gonna work out, and it's working out perfect. You know?
Where does that come from? Those blinders, man. I can see it in your eyes. You don't deviate from the plan.
Yeah.
You know, you have a goal, become the champion, and that's what you're making a beeline towards. Where does that discipline come from?
Man, I think wrestling instilled a lot of that into me, but also the death of my daughter, you know what I mean? She was 2 at the time when she passed away. And it just showed me that life is so unpredictable, you know what I mean? Like, you don't expect your 2-year-old daughter to be buried before you. So it just made me like, no, my time on here is so limited. You don't know when you're going to go. So let's just give our love, our life, whatever, to whatever you want, you know, whatever you desire, just try to go for it. Because you don't know if you're going to be here tomorrow. Like, say I get in a car accident or something, when I'm in the ambulance, I'm be like, hey, I gave my life. I lived my life I wanted to live. You know, I didn't want to work a 9 to 5, cutting check to check, whatever that is. You know, so it was just being focused and knowing my time here is a blessing. So.
First of all, I'm sorry to hear that, and I appreciate you sharing that with us. Of course. Do you feel like you have a chip on your shoulder every single time that you go out and perform?
Yeah, but I would think it's a positive, you know. I just know every time I perform, it's a blessing to be here. I'm blessed to be in the UFC, blessed to, you know, to live the life I do live, you know, and still be here. So yeah, of course I have a chip, but it is what it is.
Hell yeah, man. Yeah. Use it as a motivation.
Exactly.
That's what I'm talking about. At what point would you say, if you could maybe think back to a moment where, you know, you devote so much time in trying to reach a certain goal, right? And once a certain goal happens, whether that be in whatever way you view success as, whether that be finally making it to the UFC or winning a fight by a certain, you know, knockout or a certain submission or whatever the case, can you still be present enough to kind of sit back and be like, wow, like, a couple years ago, I was doing X, Y, and Z. Right now, I'm about to fight, you know, for the UFC. Yeah. Do you ever sit back and kind of take it all in and be like, wow, I can't believe what I'm living?
Yeah. Yes and no, because you don't want to look back. You don't want to be like, oh, I made it. This is it. You
right. You don't want to be complacent.
Exactly. You never want to be complacent in life. So, but a couple of days ago, I was driving, driving, you know, my Jeep, chilling. You know, Miami.
There you go. There you go. Miami, baby. Yeah. Oh, bro, Jeep in Miami, that's beautiful right there.
Necessary.
Oh, man, bro. We got to go off-roading, bro. Damn. Okay.
What's up? But the car next to me the guy was driving Uber, because I know the sound when you get a new ride is like doo-doo-doo. Like it's like sound like. And I used to, before the UFC, actually this would be before the UFC, I was fighting Bellator. And that day, I was doing Uber to make money. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I had passengers in the back. And I'm like, they're like, oh, what do you do? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, I'm an MMA fighter. I have a fight tonight in Madison Square Garden, da, da, da. And the people, the look they gave me, the vibe was like, oh, okay, good luck, bro.
Right.
And I'm like, and it hurt, because I'm like, dude, I'm like fighting in Madison Square Garden.
These motherfuckers think you're a manager of Starbucks and shit. What the fuck,
right?
bro?
Like, but and just like hearing that, I'm like, damn, I remember when I used to drive Uber, you know, for money, and like, you know, but now I'm like chilling and like,
bro, you were driving Uber the same day you were fighting in Madison Square Garden. That's fucking insane, yo.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Damn, yo, wow.
Definitely blessed to be in the position I am now. You know what I mean? So I haven't worked a normal job and like
talk to us about, I mean, how iconic it is to be at Madison Square Garden and not to be there as an audience member, but to be part of the production. Exactly. Talk to us about that.
Man, it's a dream come true. Like you said, I'm from Jersey. You know what I mean? So always, when I go to New York, I'm always walking by, always seeing it, you know what I mean? Seeing the Celine Dion's comment, like that shit, you know what I mean? Like the icons, you know, always in there. So to be able to perform there and, you know, do what I love there, it was definitely a blessing. It's cool, you know, it's cool to see. But man, I want more. I'm going to get more, and you know, so I can't wait to see what else, you know, the story tells.
Bro, you're like, yo, I'm gonna make someone bleed in the same place where Celine Dion sang, bro. Right? God, that's beautiful.
It's crazy.
Oh my God, ladies and gentlemen, every single week, you know what I'm talking about? We have 3. I said 3 segments, and the first one is actually called Mail Time. You know what I'm talking about? And then this beautiful segment, we ask our illustrious guests questions that you yourself have submitted. So go on our Instagram Saturday or Friday, you know what I'm saying, the day before we shoot, and you yourself can submit those questions. And here we go. All right. So the people, they want to know. Phillip, how have you handled fighting from a mental aspect rather than a physical one?
Ooh, good question.
Now your fans are dope. They send some dope ass questions.
That's a good question. Like I'm big into the mental aspect of the game. You know what I mean? I feel like a lot of fighters leaving that part out. But I feel like nowadays it's coming along. Before it was a little like, oh, you got a sports psych. That's weird. Like,
it's like taboo and shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Like, what's wrong with you? Just fight. You know what I mean? But there's a lot of things that go into it more than just the physical aspect. Definitely when you're at that top tier level. You know what I mean? Like, just little things.
It can make the difference.
Yeah. So just little things, little tactics you do to yourself. I mean, I pay $600 a month for a guy. Right. So I'm not gonna give it to you for free. You know what I mean?
100%. 100%.
But I'm working with this guy, Dr. Patrick Cohen, and he helps me a lot. Before him, I had my best bud in UK. He was helping me a lot. So I'm big into the mental aspect. Always learning, always listening. Interviews help a lot because you hear little things, little tidbits that some veterans in the game give.
Oh yeah.
So yeah.
And this isn't a mail time question. This is kind of my own question. Do you think that the mental aspect played a role in Amanda Nunes's last performance?
100%. Like there was a point in it. I thought she was gonna pull it out because when she started getting rocked, she started smiling. And sometimes that's a tale like, oh, that really hurt me. But I thought she was going to push through a little bit, but a little more than she did. But
yeah,
I don't think she had someone really try to win in a long time. You've seen her opponent trying to win, not just trying to survive or trying to,
Oh, yeah. And Cody Garbrandt did a similar thing. When he was getting rocked, he's like, I'm like, bro, come on. What are you doing, bro? You're getting rocked, my bro.
Yeah.
Second question from our mail time segment. What are you telling yourself in the moments before the bell rings?
Man, so this goes back to the mental focus thing, the mental aspect. So you want to tell yourself a command statement like chin down, guard high, take your time, breathe is one I tell myself, but it changes every fight, every event's different,
Like Rose was saying, I'm the best, I'm the best, I'm the best.
I'm the best, I'm the best. You just want to, because in that dead space when the announcer's screaming your name, the people are screaming, you see the dude over there, he's like pumped up trying to fuck you up. Damn. You don't want your brain to go anywhere except this way. You know what I mean?
There.
So you want to tell yourself, you got this. This is nothing but a practice session, You train with killers all day. So that's why I train with Sanford MMA, because it's killers. So.
Big shout out Sanford MMA, you know what I'm saying? A bunch of killers out there. Next question from our mail time segment. Do you ever get concerned about brain damage in MMA?
Yeah, big time. It's part of the game. It's part of the sport. I'm just partnering up with a company, Argos. It's like ARGOS. They do psychocybernelic, like the mushrooms. Like
okay,
like the mushrooms. So I've been microdosing with those, using their product, the microdose and stuff like that. Just trying to get my brain health. Intact, you know what I mean? Whatever I can do, to make sure I'm functional,
100%.
So it's big in the combat sports. You got to take care of your brain. So.
Do you feel that it's being talked about more now?
Yeah, of course, because I think we're not just like, this isn't UFC 1. We don't care. We're not just getting there for like, give me some beer and give me, a couple of bucks. You know what I mean?
Let me get 3 seats for my friends.
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
what I'm saying?
Yeah. So we're professionals now, and just like the NFL, they're professionals and they're looking into these things. Like we want to have longevity after our 100%. Sport. You know what I mean?
Now that's a fun fact. Joe Rogan, his first like 20 episodes, he got paid in seats for his friends. Yo,
that's wild. Yeah, but I can't do that no more.
Hell no, bro. Yeah. Bro, Dana White, oh man, come on. Yeah. And I'm actually gonna throw one last. We normally do 3, but you had so many good questions, and I'm gonna throw in another one.
Yeah.
Okay. I think a good question asked would be his thoughts on the results of tonight's fight, and he's referring to the Amanda Nunes card, Charles Oliveira, Dustin Poirier.
Man, that was badass to see Charles pull it out.
Bro,
that was wild, huh?
You thought Dustin had it in the bag?
Yeah, I thought so. His
when
boxing,
he rocked him?
I thought his pressure. I thought he sat him down the first round, but Charles just kept coming. You know what I mean? And subbed him out.
Sheesh.
That was crazy. I think it was kind of, but then everyone who doubted Oliveira, later came back. Oh, Oliveira's the man. It's like, I think that's kind of pussy shit.
Yeah, it is. It is. I was actually I was in Vegas for that, and fucking and I had gone to the sports book, and I was about to place like 100, 200 on Dustin.
Yeah,
and I'm giving her the money, and she came through clerks because the dealer was like, "Oh, everybody has been coming through here has put money on Oliveira."
Oh,
and
damn.
I'm gonna walk away. And then, yo, she came through clutch because, you know, but damn, bro. Yeah. What's the ambiance like? And thank you for sending in those questions. You know what I'm saying? Thank you. Every Saturday or Friday, please tune in and send those questions. Yeah. What's the ambiance like in Vegas for fight week?
It depends. Depends if we have COVID protocols or not. But without COVID protocols, it's not bad. It's nice. You chill on the strip, you eat, you chill with your friends. You know what I mean? It's like it's like a little mini vacation kind of. You know what I mean? Because you're still doing your thing, gambling, whatever you want to do.
Hell yeah.
You know, with COVID protocols, a little different. You're just in the room the whole time. Sweating. So yeah.
How do you not go? Like, I mean, you're in a room, you got a couple windows, and you can't. Like, how do you not go crazy?
Man, yeah, that's part of the process. We pay for. I mean, you sign up for this. You know what I mean?
All right, that's the mental war right there.
Exactly. Yeah. This is part of the process. You know you sign up for. Even like it gets tedious. Like I remember. Visualizing like signing posters like before I got in the UFC, like, oh, it's gonna be cool. But now I get to there, I'm like, oh. But it's easy to forget, like, hey, I wanted this position, you know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
I wanted to do these interviews. Hey, I wanted to do all these things, you know?
Right.
But you gotta remember to bring it back, like, hey, I wanted this stuff. So if you want to be the UFC fighter, you want to be the champion, you're gonna have to sit in this whack ass room with 3 dudes and just, you know, get ready to fight this dude.
Right,
you know?
right. I forgot who it was. But they posted a picture of them like really like messed up after a fight, and they're like, oh, fighting isn't all audience claps and ring girls, and I'm like, ain't that a fucking fact, bro?
Yeah, 100%.
Ain't that a fact? What would you say? I guess is one of the moments that you fighting for a UFC card that you're like. You couldn't realize that the amount or the level of, I guess, professionalism, how big, the actual stadium would be. Mm-hmm. Was there any moment that kind of like, I know mentally you were prepared for everything, but that it still shocked you?
Man, I don't know. I'm big into visualization, so I kind of like try to visualize everything. I'm looking up the arena where I'm going to be performing, everything. So, off the top of my head, no, but like, how well run the machine is, like this time you're here, this time you're here, this time you gotta do this. Hey, X marks your spot. Don't move off the X until 30 seconds before we tell you to come out. Things like that.
Damn.
Like it's really like a well-run production. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's not just like, hey, come fight this dude. So
right.
That's the only thing that really threw me off too much.
Can you tell the difference from fighting in other organizations as far as the professionalism and the budget?
Yeah, 100%. The lights, I don't know what
the camera work is insane.
Yeah. The lights, the camera, the canvas is different. It's not as slippery. Damn. Just the little things, you know what I mean? Like how the staff talks to you and things like that. You know what I mean? You're part of. It feels like you're part of the team, but it's it depends on your performance and things like that.
Damn.
But yeah.
Talk to us about your support system. When you were first starting out, did you have a preference as far as your mother going to your fights or your friends? What does your support system look like? And at one point, did you have any preference as far as the people that your inner circle?
Yeah.
Did you have a preference as far as them going to your fights or not? Did you feel more pressure? Talk to us about that.
When I first started, my not immediate family, my daughter's family came to a lot of my fights in my amateur and beginning years, and then I moved to New Mexico. Then they weren't able to come travel as much. But really, my support system is my girlfriend, my friend Ray, my team. You know what I mean? I got a small circle, but like they got my back, 100%. But for my fights now, I don't like anyone coming. You know what I mean?
Word.
Like, I feel like I want that feeling like, hey, this is work. Like I'm about to go to work.
Right.
You don't. I mean,
right.
You don't bring your girlfriend to your 9 to 5, right?
Right.
Like so,
I ain't gonna go to your office while you're doing taxes.
Exactly. Right.
Like,
So, I know it's a show. I know it's a. But to me, this is my life. I don't want to be worrying about what you're doing in the crowd. Are you okay? Most of the time you travel to different cities. Like if we're in LA, I don't want to have to worry about what you're doing in LA or like what's happening. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, just watch from TV. Let me bring the bags home, and you know what I mean. We enjoy it.
Damn.
So that's how I look at it. Some guys like you know, the people in the crowd. Some girls like their guys in the crowd, but me, I'm there to fight, dog, and that's what it is.
There to fight. And on that kind of like on that same mentality, there to fight. What's your relationship with your opponent during weigh-ins? Do you for the most part try to keep it respectable? Do you match their energy? What mentality do you go into it with?
Yeah, that's a good way. I'm pretty respectful, but like I'll match your energy. If you want to get crazy, we can get crazy.
Straight up.
Yeah, we wanna get crazy.
Hell yeah.
Like we get paid to fight the night, whatever that night is, but like we want to get crazy before, like it's
Right.
on site. It doesn't matter.
Of course.
So yeah, I'm always respectful, but we can get crazy if you want.
100%, 100%. Has there ever been any like any long-standing beef, for lack of a better word, post-fight where you know it wasn't squashed?
Nah, no, not to my recollection. I mean, but like if we fight and somehow you win, we ain't friends. Like I'll tell you that much.
Straight up.
Like it's not until I get it back, we're not friends. I'm not your friend. Like
100%.
Don't hey, what's up, bud? Like none of that.
None of that.
Until we run it back. So.
I'll run it back. And speaking of running it back, talk to us about your last fight. Are you looking to run it back? Talk to us about a little bit about that.
Yeah, so that one I'm trying to get. I'm talking to my manager, trying to figure it out because we're trying to get it like somewhat expunged because we found out his manager was in my locker room at the time. And that, yeah, it was kind of weird. His manager was in my locker at the time. And also we felt like the referee jumped in a little too soon. Yeah. So I can't talk too much about it, but we're trying to figure it out, like what we can do legally.
Hell yeah.
Something to happen.
100%, 100%. We were actually, before we started shooting, we're talking about Diaz and how, in my personal opinion, I thought it was stopped early.
Yeah.
Talk to us about referees.
Yeah.
How do you feel like the level of professionalism is with the referees? Do you think referees right now are more often than not getting the calls right or not? Is it a problem like it is with the judges? Talk to us about that.
Man, it's tough to be in a position, right? But because every fight is individual, you know what I mean?
Of course.
But like I feel like if you watch my last fights or you watch some of my fights, okay, I get hit, but I'm not out there. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I felt like that's what happened last time I got hit. Boom, little rock, boom. Okay, you give me some time. Like there's guys like Clay Guida, he fought like last week. You know, he could take a beating.
Bro,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you have to kind of like
gauge it. Yeah.
Gauge like, okay, I know this guy could take a beating, or he's good at he's durable.
Right.
So I'm gonna let this ride out.
Right.
He came back and ended up winning that fight. So you got to know the athlete you're dealing with. You got to know the fighter you're dealing with a little bit. So it's a tough job, but depend individually. I think you got to the referee's got to know that individual athlete. So
100%.
Yeah.
What would you say are some of the lessons that you learned from your time having gone to New Mexico, from your time at Sanford, from your time traveling to all these different, you went to Thailand, if I'm not mistaken. Phenomenal decision to learn Muay Thai. Talk to us about how all these travels have helped you become a well-balanced fighter.
Man, it helped tremendously. You know, I'm able to take a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of this. In Thailand, like that was wild. That was crazy. Thailand.
That was after New Mexico?
Was it after New Mexico? So boom, loss. That was that. Yeah, that was after New Mexico. Yeah, Thailand. So I was there for about 2 months or so. Conditions were shit, dog. Like it was bad.
And what you mean?
Yeah. So my buddy Dorian Price, he invited me. Like we barely knew each other. We knew each other for like maybe a week or two. We met through friends. Dave Branch. Bob was like, hey, come to Thailand. Da da da. I'm like, bet. Let's go. You know what I mean? Because like if you're a fighter, you know what I mean. You want that Thai boxing experience.
Hell yeah.
So he didn't tell me I was going to like an actual camp, not like Tiger Muay Thai, not like Phuket Top Team where like you got like westernized conditions.
Yeah.
Bro, we went to, it was in Pattaya, Kaizen Silk was the name of the gym. Bro. Dude, the bed was like this thin.
Bro. And I know they fight like every 2 hours. They're like, oh, you gotta fight, bro.
Fight next week. Yeah, it's crazy.
It's crazy,
and then the bed was like this thin. They were eating chicken blood for dinner. Like,
bro,
traditional,
that's culinary arts, brother.
And then this is what hurt me the most was like the bathroom was right next to the shower. This is like the urinal, we'll say, whatever. And this is the shower, you know what I mean? And it was dark, dingy, spiders crawling everywhere. And at the time I was like, dude, I'm out. Like I can't. And I'm not a pussy. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I've been through some things, but I seen that I was like, dude, I'm out.
Bro.
And I talked to my girl, tried to figure it out. I'm like, fuck, I'm gonna stay, I'm gonna figure it out, you know what I mean?
Bro.
And it was a good experience, you know, because I seen how the other side of the world lives. and this is what they do, you know. So it makes me appreciate the shit I got here. You know
Bro, I'll fight Tyson Fury, but if there's a cockroach, I'm out. G shit. You know what I'm saying? That's facts.
Check, please.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Agreed.
Straight up, man. Oh, God. And talk to me a little bit about New Mexico. How's that experience for you?
New Mexico was that's where I really started my career, really my professional career. I started professionally fighting there, and just training with guys like John Jones, training with guys like Clay Guida, training with guys with Kyle Noak, under the tutelage of Greg Jackson. You know what I mean, and Winkle John. You know, so for that to be your first really stepping grounds to become an MMA guy or professional athlete, it gets no better, you know what I mean? So.
At the moment, were you able to fully appreciate who you were next to, or not really?
Nah, not really. I'm just a hardhead. I'm like, in my head, I'm like, fuck John Jones. I'm better than John Jones. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah. That's the mentality you gotta have, brother, to be a champion.
But
shit.
there was a couple of times you showed me like, hey, chill out, little lion. So I was like, all right, bet.
Damn.
But when you just starting out training with those killers and those guys seeing how good you can be, and you know, so that led me on this path. Like, okay, I'm on the right way because these guys are giving me the cosign. You know, these guys give me the nod. So like, yeah, I'm gonna pursue this.
When you're training with someone that has X amount of years of experience, and maybe they got the better of you in a certain training session or whatever. I mean, we're talking, you know, people that have been, you were starting at the time, and these people have, you know, years of experience.
Yeah.
Did it motivate you to get better, or did it kind of like hurt your self-esteem a bit?
Yeah, it's a combination of both, you know what I mean? Because like I said, like in my head, I'm like, fuck John Jones. But then John Jones like, nah, not really. Chill. So like, but you got to put in perspective, like, okay, he is John Jones, you know? Like, so I got to take this L. You know? I'm going to ask him how he gave me this L. So it's just, it's all learning. Always trying to get better.
But that's a winning mentality, bro. To ask someone how I got this L, bro. That's how you don't get that same L again.
Exactly.
Smart man. Speaking, unfortunately, of double L's, I gotta ask, what are your 2 cents on Tyron Woodley, brother?
Dude, I mean, he's cool, but I don't really. He's just whack. Honestly, I'm gonna be serious. He's whack. I think he's whack. I think he's just corny. Like
I don't know what the fuck happened, man.
I think he's whack. I think Logan Paul, bro. He shouldn't be starching you like this. Like,
what the fuck? That's a YouTuber, bro.
Maybe he's got power. I'll give him power. Boom. Yeah, he's boxing, but bro, you're whack. Like, why are you letting this dude do this? Start you. Like, knock you out cold, bro.
God, man.
Like, that's whack.
So whack.
That's whack. I'll be honest.
And to represent the MMA community, it hurts. It hurt a little bit.
World champ. Now everyone's thinking like, I could be a UFC champ. He did. He got knocked out by a YouTuber. You know what I mean? So,
I read a comment the other day. They're like, "Oh, funny how the only person going from MMA to boxing that's being successful is Mike Perry." And I'm like, "Oh shit, it's true." Fuck, you know, like
for sure.
God, what do you think of kind of like all these? As of recent, MMA going to boxing. You got Mike Tyson, you know, coming out of retirement and doing these. You know, you got Roy Jones Jr. What do you think of kind of all these weird fights? Man?
It's Wild West out here. Everyone's just trying to get it how they can.
Get a little bag.
Yeah, everyone's trying to get the money like how they can. You know. So I'm with it. Like if you think you can compete in different sports, you know what I mean, then do it. Just don't get woodlied. That's all I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like, that's it.
That's a great adjective right there. Yeah. Oh my God. Ladies and gentlemen, every single week, you know what I'm talking about? We have 3. I said 3 segments. And the second one is actually the movie review of the week. And in this beautiful segment, we ask our illustrious guest for a suggestion, a recommendation. You know what I'm saying? Let's say you got a room full of 2,000 people and they're getting ready for your next fight. So they got like maybe 2 hours to kill before you go out. And you know what I'm saying? You put in work. You know what I'm saying? What would you suggest to them to watch as far as a movie, a TV show? It could be anything, Netflix, HBO, whatever it is. Maybe something that you're binging. I know, you know, we out here about to catch Spider-Man, no spoilers tonight. Yeah. So talk to us. Maybe a favorite movie of yours or a TV show that you always loved. What would it be?
I'm real big into movies and things like that. But man, I love like Forensic Files. Like that's kind of corny.
But, that's not corny. That's fire, bro.
But I love American Greed. I love like it's fucked up. But I love like American Greed and like movies or like documentaries where you hear about like people getting swindled and like because you kind of learn like how not to do and kind of how to do.
Right.
But it's weird that most of them take place in Miami. Like you see like cocaine cowboys and like all these crazy things happen in Miami. So it's cool to be here and see some shit. You know, like I know that building. You know what I mean? But if I had to pick from the top of my head, I don't know anything with fucking that's a thriller. You know what I mean? Anything that has to do with some drama.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Fuck. I watched a ton of movies too.
Bro, what was the last thing you watched?
Bro, I'm in the movies like every other day.
Oh, word?
Name them and I've seen it.
Let me see. What was a good one that I watched recently? What's something good you watched recently?
I like Venom.
Venom. Venom was better than the first one.
Okay,
it wasn't like dope, but it was solid. It was solid. I was just better than expected.
Hell yeah. Are you Marvel or DC?
I'm a whatever is on the screen, really.
Hey, I like that. Like, there you go.
Like I don't really, because I'm gonna watch it, even if I was a Marvel guy or DC or whatever. You know what I mean? Freaking, if I was fucking, I don't know, fucking Warner Brothers or something. You know what I mean? I'm gonna watch it because you're a fan. I'm a fan of superhero type shit. So
of
like,
course.
you gotta watch it. It doesn't matter.
Are you also into like the whole like the more dramatic like Oscar nomination sort of vibe or not really?
You mean like review like this is
maybe like what was the one with Marriage Story? Is that what it's called? The one with like it was about a divorce, dog. Everybody was crying.
I don't know.
You know what I'm saying? Like everybody's just crying and shit. You know what I'm saying? But it's artistic, and that's you know.
Yeah, but I would watch it. Like I mean. You know, I would watch it even like I'm into rom-coms like chicks.
Okay,
like
word.
Shit. I like watching films.
50 First Dates out here.
It's a classic.
Banger.
That's a classic.
Banger.
That's a classic.
You know what I'm saying? Like it has a great soundtrack. I'll tell you that off rip. You know what I'm saying?
What happened to
like,
movies and soundtracks? They don't do that no more. Like
that's what I'm saying.
Whack, huh?
Super whack, bro. How come they're not doing movie soundtracks, man?
Yeah.
Coming to America, banger of a soundtrack. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Damn. I heard the second one was whack though.
I didn't watch the second one.
Yeah. Out of respect, I didn't watch it.
You know
what I'm saying? Damn.
Yeah.
But all right, and what about TV? Is there anything that you know what I'm saying? Are you big into TV or do you?
I try not to be big into TV because I kind of got addicted personality. Like if I watch a series, I'm trying to kill it.
binging that shit. Yeah.
You know, trying to kill it through.
100%.
Oh fuck you! I watch you.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
There you go.
Killed it in like a day or two.
Oh man,
it's not healthy. It's not
healthy.
Yeah,
and that man isn't healthy, bro. He did great though. I will say, as like an obsessive boyfriend, he was great.
He made the I don't know whoever screenwriter made him likable. Like you want him. He's a killer, but you want him to do well.
You're like, damn, I wanted to kidnap her though.
He deserves her. Yeah, for sure.
Damn, bro, that's a good one. You on Netflix. How many stars would you give it?
Damn stars.
Out of 5.
Out of 5. I'm gonna give it a 5. I mean, it's
respect.
Cool. It was tight.
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah.
Put that shit.
I mean, give the stars away. I mean,
give
people are stingy.
Away. People are stingy.
When you read, like reviews and stuff, people are like, 1 star.
Oh, they're like, I'm gonna give you 2.17.
Yeah, like you pay for the stars. You don't pay for the stars. Just give them away. They're right.
God.
Yeah.
Wow. And that's a movie review for the day. I do want to know, kind of like were you ever a fan of the UFC, of MMA before you actually jumped in, or were you more of a fan of the thought of you doing it and not actually watching the fights?
Damn. Oh, geez. Yeah. I guess I never really thought about it, but yeah, I wasn't a fan of MMA or UFC. I was a fan of me doing it. But now as I do it and I got better in it and it became my life,
of course.
Now I'm a fan and I'll watch it. You know, whenever religiously, you know, whoever the person is, I'll watch it. Lightweights, females, males, doesn't matter. You know, I'm gonna watch it. Damn.
Yeah, I mean, how do you not? And when you were first starting out, what were some of the biggest, I guess, inspirations in fighting? Like, who were some of the fighters that you were always looking out for? That you're like, I gotta catch that fight.
Yeah.
Who inspired you a bit?
Yeah. Of course, John Jones. You know what I mean? We went to the same college together, Iowa Central. You know. He won a national title at 197. I won a national title, I think, the year after him at 187. Damn. And to see his progression, how his triumph, you know, to get there, I had no choice but to go to New Mexico. I was like, okay, he's the best in the world. That's where I need to be at. You know, I've always been that guy that's like, okay, if that's where I need to be, that's where I need to be. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. So John Jones, he was definitely inspiration. Kevin Randleman, of course. Big swole dudes slamming dudes on their head, you know. The blonde hair, he's the reason why I dyed my hair blonde, you know.
There you go.
He's a pioneer. Man, there's so many people. Of course, the Gracies, you know what I mean?
Oh,
They
man.
Pioneers. Sakuraba for defeating them. So
Wow,
yeah,
Sakuraba. Yeah, man. So many icons of the sport.
Yeah.
At what point did you feel that your time in New Mexico was finished, and why did it lead you to Thailand?
Damn. Yeah. So what happened? Because in New Mexico, people will come, like, you'll get like superstar guys, but it was a little inconsistent. Like, people will come for a month and they'll dip out. You know what I mean? But me, I'm there. I'm a full timer, so I'm there all year round. You know what I mean? So yeah, we'll have a good 2 months when this guy's in camp, but he dips out. So that was part of it, and also that I just wanted to be close to my family a little bit, you know, close to my family, and I also wanted to get better. And the reason why I went to Thailand is because I wanted to get better at stand up. I took an L because I was, like we said earlier, I was just wrestling, trying to wrestle everybody. So I was like, hey, I need to get comfortable with being on my feet. I need to get comfortable with Thai boxing, stand up, and just fighting, you know. So I went to Thailand. Took my best aspect of my fighting, you know, at the time was wrestling. You know, took it away, boom, and did Thai boxing. You know, so
you weren't wrestling at all?
No, in Thai boxing, there's no wrestling.
Damn.
Yeah. So it was like, hey, to me, it was like, hey, we're taking your best thing and we're gonna make this shit work. You know what I mean? So it was an eye opener. Now, if you see my last performance, I know it took a little controversy, but you could see the progression of my stand up.
Yeah.
It's night and day.
Were you ever concerned that you were gonna do? I mean, I don't know if you went into it with the mentality like I'm gonna be in Thailand for 2 years, but which you were, right?
Yeah, 2 months.
2 months, excuse me. 2 months. But were you ever concerned that you, without practicing constantly wrestling, that would be an issue?
No. I could see that could be coming, but like that's in the bag. You know what I mean? That comes quick. You know,
like riding a bike.
Yeah, exactly. And I felt like my stam's something I needed to improve. You know, if I want to be in the upper echelon where I'm at right now, I needed it. So it turned out well. So
damn.
Yeah.
What happened after Thailand?
After Thailand, then we did another kickboxing bout. You know, no wrestling, no anything, and then we went on a 5-year winning streak. You know, and we didn't lose a fight in 5 years. You know,
that was a good 5 years right there. Damn,
solid 5 years.
Solid 5 years.
So now we're trying to figure this last off, trying to get it figured out, and then keep it going.
Do you ever feel? How do you not get complacent? You got 5 years 5 years, bro, in a winning streak. Like, bro, I can't hit the lottery once. You know what I'm saying? Like 5 years in a winning streak. How do you not feel like you're not being challenged?
I think surrounding yourself with killers, you know what I mean? Like, you know, like if you're not taking L's out in the public eye, you're taking L's in the room, you know, when you train with people like Robbie Lawler, when you train people like Steve Murray, Anthony Rumble Johnson, he'll give you some L's quick. You know, and you surround yourself with good coaches and people to help you progress. So
damn.
Yeah.
Wow. Did you ever go into a fight underestimating your opponent?
Did you ever go into a fight underestimating my no, not that I believe so. I don't think so, because I always train to the best that I knew how at the time, you know. So I don't think I really underestimated anybody.
Did you ever go into a fight not fully 100%, maybe going into it with an injury? Talk to us about that.
Yeah, I do. This is kind of weird. Probably like it's dumb to do, but like some days I go like, let's say clubbing, right? I go clubbing to 3 a.m. or something like that. Right. And then I'll spar. Then like on Tuesday, so I'll stay up, boom, all the way to 3 a.m. and then I'll spar the next day at 10. You know what I mean? So you're not feeling good. You're feeling like shit. Yeah. You know what I mean? But I'm preparing myself for days I don't feel good. You know what I mean? So and in my mind, I'm telling myself, like, I don't need to be on my best to perform my best. And actually in the Kyle Dawkins fight, I didn't feel that great. You know, but I still pulled out one of my best performances, and that's because in the back of the locker room, like, okay, I don't feel great, but we didn't feel great those sparring days. You know, we stayed out clubbing. You know what I mean? So
damn,
it's kind of crazy, but like it works. You know, it works for that event. You know,
right.
Crazy shit I do.
Shit.
Yeah.
Do you ever feel like? I feel like maybe it's me personally, but I feel like every single time that I'm watching a UFC card, I don't remember the last time that I watched a UFC card that there wasn't either a groin shot or an eye poke. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
What was it? I don't remember.
Yeah.
Is that a constant problem for you?
Yeah.
Do you sometimes feel? I mean, I forgot the name, but you saw the video of this chick that she was getting choked,
and she
that
that
was fucking disgusting, bro. You gotta nah, man. You gotta clip her from the fucking. So yeah, talk to us about those illegal moves.
When I heard it from her perspective, something like she was getting choked out and she was aiming for her throat, but then somehow got in the eye, but it kind of made sense now, like because you're in that position, you do jiu-jitsu, right? And someone's choking you out,
right?
And you don't want to get choked out,
of course not.
And you're not. I mean, this is a fight, you know what I mean? Like you're trying to survive and you don't want to quit. So I can see, like I'm crazy enough to kind of see, like, oh fuck, she's not trying to quit, and she's ready to kill somebody or die in there. So, but yeah, it's fucked up. You know, you can't be eye gouging people, you know,
bro,
that's not good.
Have you been on the opposing end?
I've been eye gouged, eye poked, groin shots. Nah, man.
No?
I've been fortunate enough.
Oh,
yeah.
Knock on wood, bro. You know what I'm
sure.
saying? Damn, because
sure.
that's tough, man.
But that could be someone's tactic, you know what I mean? They could do some couple eye pokes.
But that's what I'm saying, man. And but then also you got certain things that are illegal that MMA purists think don't make sense, like the 12-6.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Or because they said originally the reason why they banned 12-6 was because they saw a video of some dude breaking wood. Some karate shit, breaking wood. And they're like, oh, if it breaks wood, that's dangerous. So, and also sometimes, bro, like, is it a 12-6? Is it a 12-5? Like, it's very close.
Yeah,
like,
I'm gonna start working that shit in.
Have you do you have a preference as far as like style, traditional boxing, your time at training Muay Thai?
Yeah.
What's your relationship with jiu-jitsu like?
My jiu-jitsu, I'm a brown belt in jiu-jitsu. A lot of people don't know because I don't really display as much. I mean, maybe in some fights you see some transitions I do. But
you do have submissions in your record. People forget.
Yeah, but I love jiu-jitsu, you know. I'm going to start competing more. After this last fight, I'm competing more. I'm taking more private lessons, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Because I feel like we all take private lessons in boxing, do kickboxing private lessons, but you don't see a lot of people doing private lessons of jiu-jitsu.
I didn't even thought about it.
Yeah, so I'm starting to do that more so I could just start subbing people, you know what I mean?
Hell
like Charles Oliveira, like, I mean, people are just scared to go on the ground with him, you know what I mean?
Sure, that's exactly what happened.
Like, see Poirier, he was like afraid to go on his guard and afraid to open his guard because he was so afraid of his jiu-jitsu, so I'm kind of adding that into my repertoire even more.
Damn. So it seems like you're a student of the game.
Yeah, I love it. I love
you know
it because you only can do it for so long. You got to be a student. You know?
Damn.
Yeah.
And I feel like you're very aware.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You say things like you can't do it for forever. You enjoy the weight cut because you know further down the line maybe that won't be as feasible.
Yeah.
How are you able to be so aware of everything that's going on?
Man,
there's so many fighters that kind of like come in and they don't think I'm gonna be fighting forever. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you're very aware about everything. Talk to us.
Just being mindful. You know, I'm real big into being mindful. Maybe to a fault. You know what I mean? I started trying to mind read. You know, certain situations, but just being mindful. You know, and my daughter situation. You know, just makes me mindful of my time here and the things I'm doing and how I'm using my time, you know? So that's important, how to use your time.
100%. Ladies and gentlemen, every single week, you know what I'm talking about? We have three segments. And the last one is actually the quest for the truth. You know what I'm talking about? And in this beautiful segment, we ask our illustrious guest a random, emphasis on the word random, question from this here deck of cards. I don't know what it's going to be. You know what I'm saying? But here we go. And normally I skip some of them if they're too corny. But here we go. All right, this is... no, wait. All right, this is a good one. Phil Hawes. What's the best career compliment you've ever received? Describe the situation.
The best career. I mean, that's tough. I mean, that's pretty simple. Just being everyone around you and your team. You know, my coach Kame was like, "Hey, you could be the best in the world." Like, I mean, that's pretty simple. Like, you know, you want to be the pinnacle of sport, and you got people co-signing. You know, like you could be the best in the world. So that's a pretty simple one, I think.
Damn, yeah, bro. That's impactful right there. To have someone of that degree believe in you to that degree.
Yeah,
That's fucking phenomenal. Do you have a hard time when you're in the octagon, listening to your corner, there's so many, you got a crowd, you got commentators, you got, XYZ. Is it difficult for you to apply what they're telling you in real time?
No. It's pretty easy because, like we said with wrestling, you're used to that one-on-one and the coach is screaming from the corner, so you become accustomed to toning out the bullshit of like the crowd and like people screaming, like kick him in the dick, like things like that, and you just listen to your corner. So
damn.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty cool.
Do you how do you pick your walkout song? I always wondered. I'm like, bro, because what I'm saying, I always felt like I would walk. I would walk out to something real colorful, like a Lizzie McGuire theme song or something like that. It's something hard. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then have the other guy like underestimate me, and then they get rocked. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
So like, how do you pick your shit?
Man, it comes to you. You know what I mean? Sometimes you're just vibing with a song, but I think the thing I'm trying to do now is trying to find a song I can vibe with and people will relate to. You know what I mean? So okay, this is Phil's walkout song.
Hey.
Let's get to our seats. Just about to get popping. You know what I mean?
Damn.
So that's what I'm trying to figure out right now. Right now it's like 50 Cent. You know what I mean? Last one was like James Brown. So I'm just trying to pick and flow.
Damn, those are great. Yeah. Great choices. Touching back on your last fight and kind of brushing on a subject that we already mentioned, which is the relationship post-fight. Given that the last fight was so controversial, did you hold any sort of resentment towards the opponent or more so towards the situation and how it played out?
No. He did his thing that night. Trash. Anyway, no, it was the relationship with the whole situation, how it went down. No animosity towards him. I mean, we fight. I mean, we're gonna fight again.
On
100%,
site.
You know what I mean? On site.
Hell yeah.
So it is what it is. You know what I mean? We're in the fight game. You know what I mean?
Game.
I'm gonna fuck that motherfucker up.
That's what I'm saying, dog.
Sure.
It's fight business,
I'm
baby.
trying to be polite, but like
you can't.
In the fight business,
bro. And that's what it is at the end of the day. Have you ever had a situation where you kind of either because you won or whatever the case, you became cool afterwards? I hear stories of like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Like, for example, Robbie Lawler and McDonald, was it? Roy McDonald. They kind of like, they dapped up after that war and they, you know what I'm saying? You can tell that they send messages every so and then. What about you? Is it the same? Is it not really? Like, do you keep your distance after the fight, or because you fucking went to war, you kind of have that, we were both in the trenches separately, but together at the same time?
Oh, that's good. You get that camaraderie. Like, hey, we just gave brain cells to each other. It took brain cells from each other. You know what I mean? You got that, of course. But me, I'm still a competitor, you're still my enemy to an extent. You're still an op. So because I know you're gonna want to run it back, so I'm not really your friend,
right?
So there's that fine line, you know what I mean? Like you're still op, but we kind of cool.
Right. Oh my God. Do you think right now, because of this era of money fights, that's kind of overshadowing what quote unquote should matter the most, which is maybe like the title? Like for example, you just had, like we were talking about, Dustin Poirier and Charles Oliveira. And Dustin Poirier took the money fight with McGregor before he took the title fight. Yeah. Would you have done the same?
Me as a competitor, probably not. You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't think so. You know what I mean? Because you win the title, the money's going to come. You know what I mean? Like, but I'm not his position, you know what I mean? And I don't... Dude, I don't know. I always game for the title. You know what I mean? The money's 100%. Gonna come. Just work hard, be the best in the world. You don't think you're gonna make money doing that way?
Straight up.
Yeah, fuck that.
Straight up. Yeah. And what do you think of kind of like the, how do I put it? The current state of how MMA sells itself. Yeah. The reason why McGregor sells what he sells or whatever. Yeah. Do you think it's kind of become this this performance, this showmanship sort of vibe, and as opposed to like getting in somebody's face and be like, yo, fuck all the bullshit, we're gonna fight. You know what I'm saying? Do you think the theatrics have taken over a little bit too much?
Yes and no. I feel like people wanna, there's so many fighters on the roster. What's gonna differentiate you from who else is out there? Why people want to tune into your shit as opposed to other person's shit? Right. You know what I mean? So if you gotta add theatrics and things like that, then and you sell, do it. You know what I mean? Look at Kobe, he's selling. You know what I mean? Before he was on the chopping block. Now he started talking some shit. Now people want to see him fight. So
man,
you gotta do what you gotta do. I mean, people gonna take it how they want to take it. As long as you get your bag, as long as you become world champ. You know?
Oh, bro, I'm at MMA Masters every other day. There's a bunch of Instagram models coming through for a video, bro. That's how Kobe. Bro, that's what Kobe.
Come through.
Oh man, gotta come through, bro. What you mean? Nah, man, because Kobe he does his little promo videos. You know what I'm saying? You know, he does that shit.
Yeah.
That's fun. Nah, but that's hilarious. Yeah. Talk to us a little bit about Sanford MMA. How long have you been there? Yeah. What opened the door for you to go to Sanford? And what's your experience been like there?
Yeah, it's been great. Actually, you mentioned Robbie Lawler and Rory McDonald. They both train together, so it's kind of crazy to see. Some days in the training room, you see Rory, and then you see Robbie, and like, oh, dude, these guys are fucking legends. You know what I mean?
Some people say they saved the UFC. With that fight, because they weren't getting funding, and it was this whole thing. After that fight, Spike TV signed the UFC. It was this whole thing.
I believe it. Killers.
What a war!
Yeah.
Damn,
hanging off,
bro. Does that image of that stare down after the third round, if I'm not mistaken, what that do to you? Like, did that intimidate you? Like, fuck, that could be me, bro. Or like,
no, that's inspiring. You know, like it's inspiring to an extent because it's like, fuck, I want a war like that. You know what I mean? But then me being cute, I'm like, nah, that's not cute. You know what I mean?
Like, bro, that's the money maker, bro. What you mean?
I'm trying to get fucked up like that. I'd rather just knock you out.
Straight up.
But yeah, it's cool. You want the war, you know, be entertaining, but like you also want to be like, I want longevity. I can't have those fucking battles every fight. You know what I mean?
Damn.
But yeah.
What opened the door for you at Sanford?
Hoof. Before it was Sanford, before that team happened, there was another team called Black Zillions. And yeah. So I got invited to Black Zillions at the time. They were shooting a show. Black Zillions versus ATT.
Yes.
I was going to do it in the show, but the weight cut would have been too drastic. So I opted out the show and started training. Long story short, I went back home just to be close to family again. And years later, boom, I hit up Hoof like, hey, Hoof, I'm trying to train, blah, blah, blah. He was like, yeah, come down. I really appreciate Hoof for that. You know, he didn't have to open the doors back up.
Big shout out.
Hoof hooked it up, and we've been rocking ever since. So it's dope.
Talk to us about your experience on The Ultimate Fighter and your two performances on Dana White's Contender Series.
Yeah, my first Ultimate Fighter, man, that was a shitty experience. The first one was kind of shitty because I didn't even really want to be there. You know what I mean?
What you mean?
How
old were you?
I don't even know how old I was at the time. Yeah, I didn't, because I'm mindful, but like everything just seems like you got to keep rocking.
100%.
You know? I just like being in the house and all that shit. I'm like, I don't know. The contract's kind of shitty. Do I want to be in there? You know, so I just go in with all that in the fight. Into the fight, just, you know, had a shitty performance. But
they take your phone away for like 3 months, and it's only drinks. Crazy. It's like a bunch of shit, right?
Yeah, just house full of dudes just drinking, and just like it's just not something that, you know, that.
Bro, they want you to fight in there. They're like, we're gonna put a bunch of MMA fighters, a dick ton of alcohol, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, let's stir the pot. So that happened. Then after my first Contender Series lost, that's when I gotta fix some shit, and that's when I went to Thailand. Second one, came back with new boxing coach, Danny Carb, and we figured it out, knocked the dude out.
Sheesh. Boom.
Yeah. Now we here, rocking and rolling.
Would you say that moment where the second go around in Dana White's Contender Series was that to date one of the most gratifying moments?
Yeah, I guess, to an extent, because like a lot of people were saying, oh, it's all hype. That's where the no hype thing came from, because a lot of everyone was like, oh, he's hype, because I took the L. And then, boom, I figured it out, showed them it wasn't hype, you know, and now we're here, showing them hype's real.
Hey, damn.
Yeah, so.
Damn. Do you, does it motivate you to prove people wrong?
It motivates me to prove the right people right, you know what I mean? As opposed to, you know, proving people wrong. I want to prove the people who are in my corner right, you know what I mean?
Damn.
So, yeah.
Talk to us about your corner. What's that looking like right now?
My corner, we got my girl, of course, you know, she holds it down, gang. Then we got my boy Ray, you know, immediate family, of course, my brothers, my siblings, my sisters, my team, you know. They hold it down. So I got a small circle, but we a tight circle. So.
Hell yeah. And who's actually in your, when you're fighting, who's in your corner? Yeah.
So we got my buddy, right? He's like my, so Muhammad Ali had this guy, Houdini, I think Houdini or Boudini, who just do the rhymes for him and shit like that.
Oh, shit.
You know what I mean? Like,
bro, he had a ghostwriter?
Yeah,
you gonna blow my mind, bro? Damn.
Yeah, he had like so I have someone like that. He doesn't really do too much, but just hype me up and like, he just gives me water and shit. But he's my boy. You know he's gonna be down.
Hell yeah, man. You need someone to kind of like, you know?
Exactly.
That's what's up.
So he's my hype man. Then I got Hoof. He's always a staple. And then the last corner, it's interchangeable. We just switch that one in and out, you know, depending on the situation at hand.
Okay.
Yeah.
How far ahead of a fight do you start prepping?
Man, I'm never not prepping. You know, like I'm always training, even if I don't have a fight. You know, I'm working out 3-4 times a day, just depending on that day. You know,
Damn.
But the only thing that changes when we get the fight is what we do, the tactics. Like, okay, it's a southpaw. Let's work with some southpaws, shit like that. You know what I mean?
Do you personally watch tape, or do you leave that up to your corner, your team?
I leave that up to my corner, my team. I'll maybe watch a little bit, but you don't be stuck with like paralysis by analysis. You know what I mean? You watch these guys and you see them starching dudes. You know,
right?
I don't want. Like, fuck, I don't fight that guy. Like,
right.
So you just leave it up to your coaches. You know what I mean? And trust in the process. Trust in your coaches.
Process.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to make the fuck. I mean, I can only imagine that maybe they're known for, I don't know, a fucking a right hook, or they're known for you know what I'm saying, a certain kick. So you're already kind of like prepping for that, and then he hits you with the other one.
Exactly. Yeah.
You don't want to fuck with that.
Like
Damn.
you see the Dustin Poirier thing. He was talking about, oh, the only thing I didn't want him to do is get my back, and like, you know what I mean? Because you're too busy thinking about what he's gonna do to you than what you're gonna do to him. You know,
right?
So yeah.
I will say, great spirit even in defeat. Because I don't know, you saw the post. He was with his daughter. And she was hugging him like right here, and he's like, "Damn, I got choked out twice this week." I'm like, "Damn, yo,
sure.
That's a good fucking way to put it." Also, Woodley's trying to have a good attitude about everything.
Yeah,
but
Damn, that was brutal.
It is brutal. Brother, before we start wrapping up, I do want to know, what are your 2 cents on your weight division right now? How do you think it's stacked up right now?
It's interesting. You know, we got a lot of good guys, a lot of good talent. But I feel like I'm the best in the world. I know I'm the best in the world. I can't wait to be here with the belt. I'm gonna bring it back.
Oh, man, that's what I'm saying, bro.
I got you.
Door's always open for you, my brother. Yes, sir.
You.
Yes, sir. What's this next year looking like for you?
We're looking to go get that streak back. You know what I mean? Try to figure out this loss situation and get that streak going again. You know?
That's what I'm saying.
Start ending dudes.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, what an episode of colossal proportions we have had today. Can we please give it up for our guest, Mr. Phil Hawes? My brother, thank you so much for dropping on by today. What a insightful episode into the mind of one of the UFC's greatest fighters right now. Talk to us about social media. Where can the people follow your journey?
You know, keep it simple. Phillip Hawes, IG, Phillip Hawes, Instagram, IG, Instagram, Twitter. It's all Phil Hawes. You know what I mean?
There you go. You see it on the screen. You see all that good stuff on the screen. Please give them a follow. Let them know that we sent you. You know what I'm talking about. Before we wrap up, do you have any shout outs, or are there any sponsors to talk about? Any shout outs as far as your team? Big shout out to Sanford MMA, of course.
Of course.
But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to thank the teams that got my back. You know, ProMix, New Life Supplements. They always got my back. They've been rocking with me for a while now. So the UFC, if you give me the opportunity, you know.
Hell yeah. Damn, that's beautiful. And lastly, we always, end the episode on one final question. Phillip Hawes, I do want to know if you could tell anything to, let's say, to a 17-year-old Phillip Hawes, who maybe was searching for something and didn't really quite know how to get there, or what it was that he was searching for. If you could give him any sort of advice, what would it be?
Well, just keep your eyes on the prize, you know what I mean? Put your blinders on. Eyes on the prize, keep your blinders on. Because that's what it is, you know what I mean? You just got to stay focused on what you're doing and don't want an outside noise and distractions. You know?
Consistency. Ladies and gentlemen, every Thursday at midnight, you know what it is. Thank you and holla.
And it don't matter what the world thinks. You can say how you feel. Midnight in my push it to the limit. It gets real without